Alkanoate, alkanoate, or simply esters. Like organic chemistry has to do with general molecular formulas, anyone you know the general molecular formula, you will not find it very difficult to understand. So alkanoate has a formula of RCOOR, and I can tell you for sure that the functional group present in alkanol or alkanoate is COO. This is the functional group present in alkanoate, COO. Remember this hyphen here means that an alkyl group is coming, an alkyl group is what? Coming. But one peculiar thing about alkanoate is that this R here at the right hand side has a complement. When you are naming it, it has an effect. This is not just for fancy. It plays a role in naming alkanoate. And I want to tell you for free that alkanoate is responsible for the sweet flavors you get from fruits, some fruit drinks, some perfumes, some other food ingredients because they have sweet, they have good flavors. They are responsible for those freshy smell you always hear from fruits and all the rest of them, drinks. Now, how do we go about alkanoids? First of all, how come about alkanoid? If you remember what simply a neutralization reaction is, definitely you will understand this alkanoid, formation of alkanoid. When we are dealing with acid, base, and salt, we say that a neutralization reaction is a reaction between an acid and a base to form salt and water. Is simply what we call neutralization reaction. Reaction between an acid and a base to form salt and water. Now, an ester, I will use the two interchangeably. An ester is formed as a result of the reaction between an organic acid and organic base. Now, to give you that ester and water, just like I've told you, look at it now. Organic acid, let me write the words first. Organic acid plus organic base, it is always a reversible reaction, gives you esters plus water. An organic acid plus organic base. But in ordinary neutralization reaction, we say it is a reaction between an acid and a base to form salt and water. That is why I told you the two are similar. Now, an organic acid is alkanoic acid. Organic base here is alkanol. It's always catalyzed by an acid to give you esters plus water. So this reaction is simply called esterification reaction. It's esterification reaction and not neutralization reaction. So what is an esterification reaction? Is the reaction between an organic acid and organic base to form ester and what? Water. So this ester here now is what we are discussing. So I'm just trying to tell you how they are formed. Now, this R is an alkyl group. This R is an alkyl group. How do we name ester? Let me just give an example of how esters are named. Let me give example one. Let me just okay. Look at this very well. You can agree with me that this is an R, this is COO, this is under R, this is R, this is R, C3H7 and C5H11. They are alkyl groups. So now, how do we name this? How do we name this? But first of all, let me put the structure so that any way you see it, it cannot confuse you. C3, 1, 2, 3. This C now, this OO, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can fill others with hydrogen. We'll still have a full video on high-back nomenclature for organic compound. So this is it. This is the condensed structural formula. This is the now fully structural formula. So you can name that. In naming esters, this R that has this sign on top is first of all named. You first of all name this side before naming other ones. Which means I'll first of all name this side and now name other ones. First of all, name this side before naming other ones. Now, what is the name of this one? This one is pentyl. Thank God I gave you prefaces earlier. Prefaces. 5 carbon atom is pent. Now, because of the fact that the head is not complete, it's supposed to be pentyl, but because one hydrogen has been removed to form an alkyl group, that is why it is pentyl. Now, after naming this one now, how many carbon atoms is remaining? 4 carbon atoms, I guess. This is 3 plus 1, 4 carbon atoms. And 4 carbon atoms is what? Butanoate. So the name of this compound is pentyl butanoate. Remember, the E ending of alkane, has been removed and substituted with OAT. So this is supposed to be butane properly. Just what? It's supposed to be butane properly. But the E ending of alkane has been removed and OAT substituted because the surface of the parent is noate. That's how to name alkane. That's how to name esters or alkanoate. It must carry the surface of the parent. So this is pentyl butanoate. We will give more 2 examples and we dive into something else. Let us check these 3 examples on the board. Let us name them. You can as well give yourself a homework by trying to expand it, trying to draw the structures. Now, remember what I told you when you're naming it, first of all, name this R, then you name others. So the name of this R now is Hexyl. 6 carbon atom is what? Hes. Just practice that prefaces I have given you. 6 carbon atom is Hes. So Hexyl. After naming this one, how many carbon atom is remaining? 2, 1 plus 2 is 3. So this is Hexyl propanoate. Why is it Hexyl? Remember you named this side first. Why is it Hexyl? Because 6 carbon atom is here. Hexyl. Why is it pro? After naming this side, just count for yourself how many carbon atom is remaining. This is 1 and this is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. And the prefix for 3 carbon atom is pro. So that's why it is Hexyl propanoate. Remember, the surface of the parent it must carry. Just name according to the number of carbon atom you have. This is organic chemistry. To me, I'm not bothered about hydrogen, even though it plays a role. But in as much as we are dealing with organic chemistry, all my eyes, they are fixed on carbon atom. Okay, look at this one now. How do you name it? First of all, name this side. It is a rule. This arrow that has this sign, you must name it first. First of all, name this side. Naming this side now is what? 3 carbon atom here is what? Propyl. Propyl. After naming this one now, just count for yourself how many carbon atom is remaining. I'm just giving you the clue on how to go about it. How many carbon atom is remaining? 2. What is 2 carbon atom? 8. So the name is propyl-ethanoate. Propyl-ethanoate. After naming this one, which is propyl, how many carbon atoms are remaining? It is 2. You name accordingly. Ethanoate. Now let us name this one lastly. What is the name of this one? Methyl. one carbon atom is mate. So it's methyl. After naming this now, how many carbon atoms is remaining? Just count carbon. 4 plus 1, 5. Prefix for 5 carbon atom is what? Pent. Methyl pentanoate. That's how to name ester. But let me warn you, let me just guide you more. It is simple, or it is simpler or easier to put the structure, the molecular formula on the board for you, and then remember, if it is, maybe if the examiner gave you the name and asked you to draw, it's another ballgame. Because you are naming from the back, you are writing the name from the back, and this one is this one. But when they gave you the name, how are you going to do it? Because if you should write the formula of the compound from the name, the way it is like this, you see that you are failing it. Maybe in the next video, we will now give name and now draw the structure. See you on the comment section.